Hello, hello. This is the paper pumpkin for May 2026, and I just got it. So let's see what we all have. Okay. You got Misty Moonlight as the ink spot, and then you have Wishing You Happiness. The stamp set is Time to Celebrate. You are invited. Sorry, it took me a minute to read that. And then you have like fireworks and like little fireworks here, and this looks like kind of trees. So that's a cool stamp set. And then here is all of the pieces. I'm just gonna pop this up. There we go. And these are the cards we're going to be making. So you have like a window one with a lantern behind it, fireworks, and like a little lantern in the sky feel to it. So really cool. And it's called Sparkling Celebrations. So really cool set. I like it. So I think this is the one that they're beginning to not send you the stamp sleeve, so you can print it online if you want, but anyway, so this is the stamp sleeve, or you just cut this out and put it when you're ready to put it away. So it is like kind of like a foresty tree look there. Oh, and then that would show, like, you'd stamp your fireworks behind it for the sky, so that's pretty cool. And with Misty Moonlight, that's the darker blue. So I think that's going to look really awesome. Okay. And all your cards. Let's see, this is, so card number 1 is going to be the lantern. Card number 2 is the fireworks. And then 3 is the window. And these are all the parts and pieces that go with it. So let's look at how it is in person. So as usual, you get everything you need. Including the adhesive. In this case, it looks like it's tear and tape, and some little dimensionals as well. So you have the tear and tape, you have the little sparkle things, and then you have dimensionals. So the only thing you would need is your stamping block. Okay, look at the envelopes. Oh, this is like the sunset. Oh, of course I love this one. The blues and blue green, and then you have this one. So I love these envelopes, so pretty. Okay, and here are the card bases. I love that it has like this cool design, and then you have, these are punch outs, so you have the fireworks and the little lantern punch out, so you have 3 sets, and then here you have the window one, and all, oh, and then these little pieces, more fireworks, little lantern. These are like the hanging lanterns, or actually, oh, like the bag, that's what it is, like a paper bag lantern, and all of this other stuff. So really cool. By the way, save these, because this is really thick, heavy, I was gonna say cardstock, but it's really thicker than that. So chipboard, and you can use this in some when you're doing junk journaling, or you're creating your own album kind of thing. So save that if you think you'll use it, because I save these and create lots of stuff with it, little mini albums. Oh, and then this looks like, yeah, the sentiments, and then that you can stamp on. And oh, look at this card with the little sparkly, I don't know if you can see it, but it's really cool with all the sparkles on there. And then here's the lantern one. And if you want to stretch your cards further, of course, you can cut the back off, and then use the back and just put it on regular white cards if you want, and stretch it to make multiples. And then I'm going to put this aside. All right, so let's create a card. We're going to do the first one, And oh, here it is. So when you go to this the back page, it tells you everything you need for each card. So let's punch all this out and let's get started. So we need the base that looks like that with the lantern. So I'm gonna pull that out. That's this one. You need a lantern. So we're gonna pull that. There, and then you need the 3 hanging lanterns. And it looks like one of each size. So you want a little one, a medium, and a large. And then the stamp sets you're going to use are going to be You Are Invited and the little bush tree. So you're going to stamp that along here. Okay, so that's all that we need for card number 1. Okay. Oh, whoops, forgot the sentiment that says You Are Invited. That is one of these. There we go. Okay. So we'll put this back in here. And so first thing we're going to stamp is a little bush here, the bushes. And on a polymer stamp, first time you use it, especially when it's a piece that has a lot of space to it, you want to season it. The easiest way of seasoning it is to just kind of press it on the back of your hand to get some of the factory oils off and stuff. So we're going to season it that way. And then I'm going to grab my block, one of my blocks. So if you have a paper pumpkin, the first time you get one, they'll send you this size block. So this size should work for everything. But if you're missing it or you don't have it, then you can certainly use any of your other blocks where the stamp set would fit on. So, so I'm just going to put that there, and then I need to cut open. Well, it's Misty Moonlight, so I'm actually, well, I'll use it. I was going to get my large version, but we're going to act like this is all we got. So we'll just use this one so that you can see how this all works when you're on the go. Okay. And it's showing here, you're going to stamp it with the blue and then stamp along the bottom of your card base. I'm going to kind of move this up a little bit so you'll be able to see. Okay. And when I use the stamping spots, because they're little, I like to bring the stamping spot to the stamp rather than the stamp to the block. When I use the bigger ones, then I do the opposite. For me, it's just easier to manage that way. So you can get up really well. And then we're going to just kind of randomly stamp. And I would kind of stamp like off a little bit. So I'm going to just kind of hold it for a minute and lift up. Oh, and if you don't quite get it, that is the beauty of the polymer. You just kind of line it up and press it in. So you want to make sure you have it pressed in really good. Oh, that just little ink spot is just not releasing. So let me try it again. I probably didn't season it enough. There we go. Let's hold it down. If you have like a soft sponge to put underneath, that's also really good with these. So you know what? I'm gonna flip this because the back side of this is the soft. So let's do that. There we go. And we'll just kind of line it up. So if you have a Versamat like this, you can flip it over and just use that. But if you can get like little foam things anywhere, I think even like dollar stores and stuff have these foam sheets, and that just kind of helps give it just a little more cushion to push down on. Okay, so I'm going to, this time I'm going to raise it up just a little bit higher to give it a little more dimension. Yeah, and then I'm just going to kind of layer it. This one I'll go down a little bit more. In. I'm going to just get this right on the edge here. Okay. And let's see. Oh, you are invited. I want to get you that one. Okay, I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to grab another block just to make it easier. Actually, I think I'm going to do, well, I'll do You Are Invited, but I would probably do Time to Celebrate normally, because I would have more reason to make a card that said that. So just make sure I have this going the right way. Okay, there we go. So let's scooch this over. So now we're going to add our adhesives. So when it's a long strip like that, that means it's a tear and tape. So we're going to put, and this is the lantern, you can see how that is. So we're going to put tear and tape on that part. And that's showing tear and tape, by the way, that little round thing, that's what that is. So we're going to just kind of tear it. Just kind of put it, so this will fit just exactly on there. There we go. And then on the back of this, so you don't even need a scissors with these paper pumpkins. Okay, so the larger, it's showing the larger lantern, and you're doing tear and tape on the bulb part and then a dimensional on the other part. So I'm just going to put a little piece here, put this back, and then, and I know it's a dimensional because it's like an octagon shape. See how that is? So, okay. Ooh, sometimes it's just hard to open these little bags. All right, okay, well, let's get that up. Okay, so we're gonna do an octagon. Right here, and then the backs of these ones as well. Put it here and here. Okay. All right, and then, So the first thing you're gonna stick down is the lamp, and that's just gonna go kind of right, it's right on the bottom, and you're just gonna kind of put it right here. So there we go. And then you're going to do these little lanterns. So we're going to start with the little one first. So that'll be kind of hanging here. And then we do a medium one in the middle. And that can kind of be layered like right here. And then the big one can go down below. Oh, and actually now I'm looking, I kind of want it, I'm going to put it down a little bit further. I'm going to put this one down here so you can see it. There we go. Kind of like that. And then this one we'll put right like here. And then you are invited. We'll go kind of right, rest it right underneath like that. And that's it. There's no gems on this one. So we're all done. Look how quick and easy it was to create this this card. So I'm going to kind of use my block to make it more of a crisper fold, but you could totally leave it if you wanted to. And look how cute. I love those. This is so cute. Okay, so we got card number 1 done. Let's do, while we're on a roll, let's do card number 2. Okay, so number 2, we need the base with that pretty sky. Okay, so we need this one. Okay, and it's going to go vertically. Okay, so we have that, and then we need all these fireworks. So I need this big one, then you need this little one, and then we need these 3 smaller ones, which can be found here. So 3 of these. Okay. There we go. And then let's get to the instructions. Okay, so we're going to stamp, oh, we need that little white starburst here for the sentiment. Okay. We're going to stamp "Time to Celebrate" on there. So I'm going to get my block. Actually, I'll just use my other block over here. So use this block and it'll be "Time to Celebrate." And I'm going to get the oils off real quick. I need to clean that block. Okay, so we're going to stamp on here. And if you don't have anything soft to like put behind like this, I mean, most of the time it's fine, especially for the sentiments. A little ink spot on there. You could like use anything, even like a towel or something, fold it up underneath. Just something to give it a little bit of cushion. Or if you have like paper towels, several of those. Okay, so we got that. That's the only inking we're doing, or stamping. And then, so for the back of this, we're using tear and tape. And I can use this little piece that I did earlier. So we have that, and then flip all these around. There we go. So follow what it says. Like if it says to put it in the middle, put it in the middle. If it says, shows that it gets on the edge, put it on the edge, because that way, I'm talking about the dimensionals, because they're showing you deliberately where to put it, because then you can tuck things in if things need to get tucked. etc. So that's why I made sure I had these turned to match exactly how they have it turned. So with that straight edge on the right, so I can get my dimensionals in the right spots. Because a lot of times they're having you place it in a certain spot and there's a reason for it. And you'll see when you start assembling it. So you're like, oh, that's why they had it over there. Okay, so we got all those on there. So number 3 is just showing you where to stick everything down. So we're going to start with, we'll start with this half one. Just peel off the back. And this half one is lined up kind of like right along the edge, like that. And then this one is along here. I love that it's a fireworks set and that the stamp has fireworks because, you know, it's great to have 4th of July. And it's going this way for the celebration. It's our 250th anniversary. So pretty cool. Okay, so we got that. So now these 3 little ones. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to do time to celebrate first. And because that can then be kind of tucked in here. And kind of lift that up there. There we go. So like that. And then so let's see, so we can kind of, in this case, I'm going to move this. Sometimes it is easier to put your, like if you know I want my dimensionals right there, then you can stick this like that. There we go. Okay. And then this one can go over here, tucked in, kind of like that. And then this one can go right here. There. So this one, let's see, do we have any gems? Nope. So now this one's done. Okay, so 2 cards done. Okay. So we have this one, we have this one. So number 3. Okay. So let's see. So we're going to need, well, actually, let's pull out all the pieces that we need. So number 3, you need the sentiment as like this. So we're going to use wishing you happiness. So we need that one. And then you need lanterns. Oops. So you're going to need the little window. So we're going to pull that aside. And you need those little lanterns. Oops. Where do those things go? Oh, they're right here. Oof, goodness. Okay, so you need one big one. You need one that is 2 together, like this. And then you need a little one. So there we go. Okay. And here's our instructions. So you're going to stamp wishing you happiness on, oh, I forgot the base. I need the base. This one. Okay. And this is going to be folded vertically. Okay, so let's see. We are going to stamp, so you're going to kind of stamp the trees along here. Oop. It's supposed to go that way because they're hanging. Okay. We're going to stamp the trees along here because it's hard to see it, but it's really a faint along the bottom. Okay, so just ink it up. And I'm actually going to now you can, you know what, I just, I have like a little hair there. Okay, I just think I pulled it out. Okay, I'm gonna pull that out. Okay, no, it's still there. Okay, I'm going to stamp here. This time I went a little higher. And then I'll do a little more over here. There we go. So there's that. And then you're going to take your window. I'm going to pause so I can wash my hands. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to take the window and I'm going to flip it this way. Actually, I'm going to poke out. Oh, I see. So we're going to poke out these little pieces. You could use these little squares for like sentiments too, if you want, or just like journaling piece if you're going to turn this into a scrapbook page, which I think that's what I am going to do with this. Because I always, for the 4th of July, I like to go see my mom. She's in Astoria, Oregon, and they always have this really nice 4th of July event where they do the fireworks over the Columbia River. And she lives right near there, so you just walk over. And it's just really cool. So I like to go there on the 4th and watch the fireworks. So let's see. So it's showing, so on the back, oh, I must have, I do have a lot of ink on here. I gotta wipe that down, but I will do that in a minute. Okay, I forgot to do my sentiment, so I just put it on the back of this block. And then I'll just clean everything up at the end. So just gonna stamp it on there. And this one, it says wishing you happiness. I'm just gonna push it down in here. Just gonna press down. Let it sink for a minute. There we go. Okay, so now we have that. And I'm gonna just take my little cloth, wipe it. Make sure I don't have any more ink on here. Okay. So here we go. Okay, so we are going to put the tear and tape on the back. So, nice thing about just using the ink spot, the one color throughout, is you can just keep going and then clean it all up at the end if you want, because you don't have any danger of mixing up your inks. So just gonna put this way up here. Just gonna go on down this way. And since this is going to be glued down, you're not even going to see those little ink splatters that I got on here. Smudges. Okay, so we have that. This is going to get dimensionals. So we'll put one here, and one here, and then our lanterns. So we got that. So again, you want to kind of line it up like how they're showing so that you put your dimensionals in the right spot. So we're going to put one there, So let me know in the comments where you are planning on going to see, if you're planning on going to see fireworks, and where you think it's going to be, or if you're just going to stay home, watch on TV, and not fight all the crowds. So, and that is the other nice thing I like about being in Astoria, because it is a small town. I don't have to drive anywhere. Like I said, I can just walk and see the fireworks and then walk back to my mom's. So it's just a nice little, kind of a nice little getaway. They're showing to put the lanterns on first. So I stopped doing what I was doing because these are going to sit kind of in behind the window frame. Okay. So you're going to do the big one kind of like right here, tilting it just a tad, and then you want this one kind of tilting it this way, and then you have the little one like kind of right below that big one, like that. Okay, now we're gonna do the window. So you peel this off. Yeah, I can't wait to get pictures this year, because I think it's going to be a cool celebration. So I am definitely going to create a 4th of July scrapbook page, probably 2-page 4th of July layout. So you're just going to kind of line this up, press it down, and then you have your little window. So you have to do that as okay. And then we're going to do wishing you happiness. So and now, so that's like a little shelf there, and then you see the little trees kind of peeking up through the window there. I would probably in hindsight move it up just a little bit more with the stamp, but in the image they really didn't do that, but I think I would do that. And let's see, they didn't use the gems either, so it looks like they just had gems to use as you see fit if you wanted to use them. I would probably put, I think I'm going to put some gems on here because I like the gems. So I might just do kind of one, let's see, kind of like one here, maybe. They're all the same size, so I might just put one up in here. Oop. If you have the pokey tool, use that. But I want to just act as if all I have is what is in my box and a stamping block. That's it. Okay, so all done. How cute is that? So we got 3 celebratory cards all done in a very short amount of time. Now, if you get kits, the kits from Stampin' Up, they're very similar to this. They're not all cards, of course, but you get instructions like this, and it's very step by step, and image type instructions, not so much verbiage, and they just tell you how to create whatever it is you're creating in that kit. So I think this turned out really cute. I would definitely cut this and make another card out of it, because you don't have to have the window. I think that would be really cute, and it'll be great on the scrapbook page as well. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you do subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you can get the refills if there's some available, which there usually are some, at least in the beginning of the month. So refills are, I think, $13 or $14, and you get everything that is here, except you do not get the stamp set and the ink spot, because it's a refill, so in theory you should already have all that, but you would get everything else. So when I create, I'm going to create my scrapbook page, and I'm going to use the stamps for some of that, and then some of these ephemera that came in here, and I'll cut apart my cards as well. So I think that's going to be cool. This one, because it's like Starry Night, that would be cool for even Christmas. And then this would be like a cool backyard image if you want to use that, and then I like this for the hanging lanterns. There's like there's some cultures that have that, or they even use like the paper bag, so it kind of looks like that too, so you could flip it upside down and do the paper bag look with that too, that they line their pathways with. So anyway, thanks for watching, and again, let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks. Bye for now.